everyone, ReeferGil here. In this video I'll be installing a very cool under cabinet waterproof LED strip I purchased off of Amazon. The light's going to go underneath my aquarium stand and will be triggered on and off via a door switch, which will be controlled by my Apex breakout box. There are tons of LED strips available online, so choosing one was a bit daunting. I ultimately settled for this Brehm, not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly, LED strip. I chose this particular light based off the reviews and the fact that it claims to be waterproof. I have no idea how this LED strip will perform over the test of time, so we'll just have to wait and see. Let's unbox the LED light and see what we get inside. First up is the LED strip inside this foil looking pouch. The LED strip comes on the spool and measures 16 feet 4 inches in length. There are 300 LED lights attached to the strip. The back of the strip consists of some pretty strong double-sided 3M tape, a DC 12 volt power brick and power cord, you also get a roll of what looks like 3M double-sided tape. I ended up not having to use this. An IR controller which connects to the LED strip. This is what the remote control will communicate with. A 44 key remote control. You can see all the LED light color options. Very cool stuff. In addition to changing the LED colors, you can also have the LEDs change color patterns. There is a plastic tab protecting the battery on the controller that will need to be pulled out before use. You'll see the plastic tab at the bottom of the controller. A package of single screw fasteners, which I did use, and a getting started guide with some miscellaneous paperwork. Before I go and spend time installing the lights, I want to first make sure that they work. So let's put it all together and get some power going to the LEDs. Connect the power cord to the power brick. The other end of the power brick has a DC connector that goes into the IR receiver. The opposite end of the IR receiver splits off into two wires. One wire is the IR itself, and the other one is a 4-pin connector that snaps into the end of the LED strip. I'll go ahead and plug in the power, take my remote control, and turn on the LED lights. The LED lights are white when you first turn them on. Blue, green, here's red, orange, yellow, and back to white. This is a Honeywell door switch I purchased off of Amazon. The door switch can be wired to your Apex breakout box. All I need to do is take one end of the bare wire and place it underneath the switch's screw. From here I'll tighten down the screw onto the bare wire and do the same for the remaining wire and remaining screw. The Apex will be programmed so that when the connection between the door switch is broken, the stand light will turn on. When the connections are making contact, the LEDs will then turn off. I will leave a link for the Honeywell door switch down below in the description. These lights can actually be cut with scissors. Every third LED light you'll see a gold colored plate with a picture of a pair of scissors. It would be here where you can cut the strip and use something like a 4-pin connection cable to connect two ends of an LED strip. I tried this, but as you'll see later, I failed. So like I mentioned earlier, the backside of the LED strip has double-sided tape. I exposed the 3M tape and stuck the LED strip onto the surface of the aquarium stand. Obviously, you need to consider where your power source is located and install the LED strip accordingly. You don't want to end up realizing that you've installed the lights in a manner where the power cord plug is now taking the longest route back to the nearest power source. I've used double-sided tape underneath the cabinet stand in my previous build to secure modules and other pieces of equipment. Sometimes the tape held and other times it failed over time. To ensure these lights were not going to fall, I decided to purchase an extra bag of these 10mm brackets that use a single screw to secure the lights into place. I placed the brackets every 10 inches or so all the way around the inside of the aquarium stand. It took me about 45 minutes to an hour to install the entire strip of LEDs around the inside of the tank stand. After I was finished, I tried changing the colors on the LED lights. I realized the lights connected after where I had spliced the strip were doing their own thing. I pushed the blue button on the remote control and the LED lights after the splice turned a different color. When I tried the red, the lights after the splice actually turned off. The only color that worked was white. I fiddled around with the 4-pin connection but wasn't able to get it to work properly. I ended up scrapping the idea of splicing the strip and remove these lights. I had a spare spool of LED lights I was going to install on my Apex cabinet. Instead, I used the spare LED lights to replace the ones I just installed, a big pain in the butt. Now that the second strip of LED lights were installed and working as designed, I went to work on the door switch. I screwed down the ends of the bare wires onto each one of the screws. The piece of the door switch that is connected to the wires was then installed in front of the right door by screwing it into place. The second piece of the door switch needed to be taped on with double-sided tape to the right door. The wood frame around the door wasn't wide enough to accommodate both screw holes. One of the screw holes overshot the wooden door frame and hung over the door's window. Double-sided tape to secure this into place should be fine since the piece it's holding weighs nothing. Now it was time to connect the other end of the wires to the Apex breakout box. The Apex breakout box is designed to have 6 wires plugged into it. However, it was somewhat poorly designed in that all 6 of those items must be plugged into only one ground port. So if you ever did use up all the ports on the breakout box, you'd have a tough time trying to stuff all 6 wires into one ground port. Fortunately, I only have one other float switch plugged into the breakout box. After installing the door switch, it was time to plug in the breakout box into the Apex unit and program the outlet. The outlet I programmed is the outlet the LED lights will be plugged into. You can see the outlet's normal state is to be off. I named the door switch SW door. Here I enter the statement if SW door open, then on. If your outlet's normal state isn't off, then you can add another command line stating if SW door closed, then off. The rest of the program for the stand light and commands are to turn on the lights even if the doors are closed. The lights turn on for any sort of aquarium maintenance when I trigger any of the feed modes, or they will turn on whenever something has gone wrong. The lights would serve as a visual cue that something is amiss. The last statement here, defer 10 minutes then off, was removed prior to the demonstration. Okay, so everything's plugged in, mounted, and programmed. It's now time to see if this thing was going to work. For a minute there, I thought it wasn't going to work, but there is a 1-second delay after the door is opened or closed for the lights to react. But there I have it, automatic lighting for my aquarium stand. After about an hour of sitting on the floor opening and closing the door, my wife finally insisted I stop. The Baylite LED lights come with pre-programmed lighting patterns. Use a remote control to make your lights dance as they go through various lighting patterns. Unless you're showing off the lights, I don't think many of us will be using the pre-configured lighting programs, but it's there if you ever want to play with them. I also noticed that the range for the remote control isn't that great. If I was any further than 5 feet from the IR receiver, I noticed that the remote control would have issues, so keep that in mind if you choose having these lights. Additionally, these lights are dimmable with the use of the remote control. Let me know what you guys thought of the project in the comments down below. Show your love and support for the channel by taking the 2 seconds to hit that thumbs up, and we'll see you guys next Sunday. Thanks for watching.